on... Whoa, hey guys on Instagram. Welcome. We're just doing an e-commerce live Q&A. Thanks so much for joining so quickly. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hey, hello. All right. How's everybody doing? Love from India. Thank you very much. Love from New Zealand right back at you. Hey, Emily. Hey, wow, this is great. So many people are joining. Hello, love from India again. Hello. I just want to say thanks for coming on. This is just a simple live Q&A in terms of e-commerce and dropshipping. If you have any questions in terms of e-commerce or dropshipping, Shopify is my main area, then please just throw me a message. Lots of people on Instagram. I'm just going to set up the YouTube channel, so just give me 2 seconds. If you want to jump on there, we've got higher quality audio. But right now we are live 50 seconds in on YouTube and a couple of minutes on Instagram. Zohair Shentov says, I just downloaded Debutify today. Nice, man. That's pretty cool to see. Yesa says, you are a dropshipper. Yep, I am a dropshipper. I'm actually dropshipping these secret product. This is a beeswax wrap. A lot of hissing noise in the background, says Abby. Yes, sorry, dude. I think that'll be my laptop computer. Let me know if that's any better. I don't really have anywhere to put the phone. But yeah, thanks for letting me know. What do I think about Google Ads? Pretty essential. One of the great sales channels that you can kind of automate. I'm just getting started with the Google Ads. I am not by any means an expert, but I'm just wading my feet into those. I'm actually just watching a course right now on Google Ads. I'd probably recommend running Google Ads on a store. Probably the nug that I have is probably to just keep it to one product right now. How much am I earning a month? Couple of $1,000. That's a funny question. But not through dropshipping, actually. That's fair. Not much through dropshipping at all, actually. Probably $20. I'm not a massive dropshipper. What about Snapchat ads? Yeah, so novel. I think TikTok ads, Snapchat ads. You guys probably watch Camille Satar as well. He's just started doing Twitter ads. I think I've probably said this already, so sorry to be a recurring theme, but with marketing, it's all kind of the same sort of psychology. So you definitely want to be doing... sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. If you want to be doing any sort of sales channel like Snapchat ads or Twitter ads or TikTok ads, it's going to be the same sort of thing that you actually do with Facebook ads. You're just going to be using a different content. You know, you just have to subscribe to the length, the shape, and the demographics that use those sales channels. But really, it is sort of the same sort of things. Thanks for all the questions on Instagram. I've just got a few questions on YouTube as well. How long is this live for? We're going to be on here for 45 minutes and maybe longer if this goes well. Have you looked into different channels to sell your product like eBay or Amazon? Yeah, eBay is actually probably the secret nug of dropshipping. Massive amounts of traffic go to eBay every single day. I actually just made a video on watch count, which is a product research tool that you can use to find products on eBay. I haven't actually looked into selling my product on eBay or Amazon purely because I think that if you have the most control over your store, your brand, your product, then you're going to succeed in the long run. If you have your store or your brand or your product under the eyes of Amazon or eBay, then you will inevitably have to relinquish some control. And I think that you know, the whole idea with dropshipping, with e-commerce, is to have control over your life. There's a correlation between having control over your life and well-being, so we definitely want to increase that. Hope that answers your question, Joseph. And Jun-san, the live is for 45 minutes. Woobum says, do you use Oberlo? No, I don't. I'm just using Klaviyo, Debutify, and Judge Me. Do you prefer a niche store or a one-product store? Yeah. I might have answered that already earlier on, but I prefer I wouldn't say a one-product store. I'd probably say like a 2 or 3 product store. But yeah, definitely just one works really well to start. I think that having just one product on a store can be kind of freaky for customers. It's like there's only this one thing. What's that about? So I usually have like 1 to 3 products on a store. A really good example of a store that I just bought something from is Work From Home Desks. .co.nz. It's actually just one product with accessories. So that's kind of like a one product store example there, where I think is really great. Sorry guys, there's quite a few messages coming through on Instagram, which is good. So I'm just going to scroll up. Gone restricted from making ads, so I'm trying to see which platform I could advertise on. Yeah, Emily, I would definitely recommend branching out into Google Ads. A lot harder to get restricted on Google Ads if you're following all the rules. I assume you are getting banned on Facebook. Yep, says there. So yeah, probably try Snapchat ads and Twitter ads and TikTok ads. But depends on your demographic, really. I wouldn't just do all 3 of those. You do need to consider who your demographic is, what your brand is trying to say, and who you're trying to say it to. Agreed regarding advertising on eBay and Amazon. Thanks, Abby. I appreciate the support. I'm just going to lean this over here on my plant. Let me know on Instagram if that is a better audio, and I will just start answering some of these questions on YouTube. Before I just get carried away with all these questions, I just want to say thanks everybody to being here. This is the 3rd live video we've done, and I'm really glad that you guys are all here. Okay, Joe says, oh yeah, but I wouldn't want to just pick one, was thinking to diversify. Yeah, I mean, it depends like how successful you're doing in whatever you began with. I mean, your initial question, have you looked into different channels to sell your product like eBay or Amazon? I imagine that you've probably been using Shopify. So to nail one first is probably what I would want to do before I started branching out. It's kind of the same with the Oberlo question. It's like, I don't really understand Klaviyo and Shopify to the best that I could, and I really think that that's a great thing to do, is to kind of just master things in one area and then moving along to see something else. It's like trying to learn skateboarding and guitar at the same time. If you just sort of sat down and you learn how to skate, well, you'd have to stand up to do that, but you know, and then you'd pick up the guitar in a couple of months, then you'd be able to, you know, really put that time in. But at the same time, Joe, I would recommend doing eBay or Amazon FBA if you think you can do it, you know? Just to reiterate on Instagram, is this better audio? Please let me know, because you're currently sitting in a pot plant. Okay, hope that's all good. Whoa, lots of questions on YouTube. Where are you located? The background is so nice. How does your location affect who you're able to market your products to? Really good question, Jill. Yeah, I'm located in New Zealand. Thanks, the background is very lovely. You can see the water out there. It's kind of like mud really, but I swim in it sometimes. It's just a mangrove estuary. Yeah, it does affect how I'm able to market my products because we're so far away from everybody. It's a 3 to 5 hour flight to Australia here. So that's a real kind of kick in the teeth for an e-commerce store. I personally have just started, here it is, dropshipping these and packaging them up personally because I want to just make sure that I have complete control over the whole supply line, because I want to understand everything end to end. That's how Apple started at the beginning. They ran everything themselves, and they've carried that ethic through, and they are the most successful company coming out of America. Excuse me. I'm not Steve Jobs, but I think that following in the footsteps of great companies is a good idea. So right now, I'm trying to just fulfill everything myself from right in here. I think that's a really good, honorable, respectable way to do it. Because I found that last year when I tried to use AliExpress consistently, as many of you guys probably already have figured out, quite consistently, you will find that these suppliers just drop off the grid. So that can be really quite annoying. Lots of waves on Instagram. Hey guys, sorry if I'm not looking at you. I'm just looking right here. I'm just continue to answer the questions on YouTube. Could you please give examples on winning products that you sold recently through dropshipping? Probably just beating a dead horse here, but this is my winning product for sure. I have another one in my room, which is a bag. But this right here is, well, I could go get you an open one actually. Showcase it a little bit easier. Essentially all that it is a cotton wrap. Sorry about the noise. It's a cotton wrap infused with honey and jojoba oil. And you wrap up leftovers. I'll just use this rock, for example. You just put in your old tomato. And you just sort of wrap it up. Keeps it fresh. And you can take that any way you like. I love how it molds to like any size and shape. It's so cool. There you go, Instagram. Beautiful pattern as well. There you go, YouTube. That's my winning product that I'm selling right now. You can go check it out on ferncity.com if you want to learn anything about how I write the copy, how I take the photographs. I've done a little video there as well, and you can see my funnel, ferncity.com, just www.ferncity.com if you want to learn anything about this winning product. I mean, it's also in the YouTube videos, but I'm sure that you guys are doing that. Yeah, so bloody hell, we got quite a lot of questions here. I just want to keep waving to all the people on Instagram. Lots of waves. Do you make your own ad videos? Yes, I do. I am very lucky to be a filmmaker already before I moved into e-commerce. So I have a little bit of background there that I can draw upon. I will say that I have a video coming out soon. In about 4 weeks, we'll be releasing a video on how to make video ads. And I won't be using my filmmaking perspective. I'll try and just make it as grassroots as possible so everybody can get behind it. If I can just riff on your question, Junsu, it is relatively simple. I think using free programs like Canva, like Adobe Rush, and just filming the product with somebody using it, show, don't tell. Really just use the medium for what it's meant for, and that's visual. Use the video medium for what it's meant for. Showcase the benefits and the features of the product right there with video, sorry. And I meant to say, don't get too carried away in the gear. If you're lucky enough to have a smartphone, I know that over 1 billion people have a smartphone now. You probably have a camera. You can put that on your computer and you can just edit it really quickly. You can also, a cheeky trick is if you don't want to spend any money on editing software, you can edit in camera. So before you start recording your ad videos, make sure that you've got the frame set up and you're going to practice. So if you're selling a mug, make sure that you get it right in the right place first and showcase it, and then hit record and then hit stop when you think it's been long enough. And that's what we call in filmmaking editing in camera, because it's going to save you time and it's going to save you a subscription to something like Creative Cloud in terms of editing. So you definitely want to curate the image before you start recording. It's going to save you a lot of time. But yeah, real simple workflow. Capture the features, capture the benefits, speak directly to people, to the people who you want to sell it to, speak to your target audience, and then do a CTA. Real simple. But obviously, there's a lot more nuance to that. Hi man, I think you should post store creation video or tutorial. I found only one. Yes, I'm actually going to film one of those this week. I filmed the first part of it yesterday, and then I'll be filming the second part today. We're going to go through ferncity.com. I'm going to break through all my ad copy, all of the photographs, the video, and the funnel of the landing page, and the winning product itself. So that will probably be edited in about 5 weeks. So sorry about the delay there, but we have lots of videos coming out on YouTube. I'm glad to see that you are watching our videos though, one Suraj. So thanks very much for your support. Vraj Anadpara, best place to run ads for toys niche rather than Facebook ads. So you'd want to be targeting to people who have kids, Vraj. So you want to be, if you're going to be selling toys, you want to find the sales channel that speaks the most to the parent demographic, which is actually quite a lot of them. If you're not keen on Facebook ads, and I can see why, it's such a mess, I would try Twitter, because most people who are using Twitter are a little bit older than people who probably don't have kids. You know, people who use Twitter, to my knowledge, are 30 plus. I don't really know anybody who's my age, 25 and younger, who uses Twitter. So maybe go for Twitter and Google ads. And also I'd probably try and get those into a store as well, because toys are the sorts of things that people like to play with when they go shopping. You're going to be shopping with your kids, and your kids are going to see the toy and they're going to go, I want to play with that. Of course, you can spam the parents on a sales channel like Google or Facebook, but at the same time, you could try importing a bunch of those winning products and getting it into a store locally. Yeah, the main answer there would probably be Twitter or Google. Hope that answers your question. And another wave for Instagram, lots of waves on Instagram. Okay, next question on YouTube. Sorry guys, I've been neglecting you. There's quite a lot of... Oh, Viraj Anapara, you're on YouTube as well. I'm sorry that I didn't answer your question. I hope that answers it now. Yunsu An says, when choosing your interests in Facebook, what is the minimum and maximum potential reach you look for? Yeah, I go to 2 to 10 million people. And the reason for that is that if you are running an engagement campaign initially, that potential reach needs to be somewhat large, so that once you start refining the interests, refining the demographics, and refining the locations and the age, you can trim it down a bit and find all those people within all of those different factors who are really interested in buying your product. You don't want to have it too small to begin with, like 200K or 500K. You want to start with like 2 to 10 mil and then trim the fat off that to find people who are interested in, buying the winning product. Excuse me. I have a little bit of a cold today. Yunsu An says, do you really only use the Debutify theme? Yep, I actually only use the Debutify theme. It's great. It's all set up there for me, and I kind of think it's stylish. Even with 3.0, we've got a few different graphics in there that I really think are just useful. I'm not the best graphics guy, so a theme like Debutify for me is great because it kind of handles that elegance, and it has good typography. And I don't need to beat a dead horse here, but the CBAs, the add-ons on Debutify, are just pretty phenomenal as well. we got low battery on the Instagram. Let me just plug that in. We've got a little system here. All right. I'll try not to kill my plant. Sorry, guys. Okay, beautiful. Hey, Instagram, again. Okay, a couple more questions here. Alimadi1010. Great, I'm a beginner to Facebook ads. Do you recommend selecting conversion FB ads or another ad objective? Alimadi1010, that is a great question. I don't recommend... oh, sorry, I just misread your question. You should do conversion. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You should do it. Yeah, you should do conversion always. I think it's great. I was getting confused there. I thought you meant campaign-based optimization. I mean, to make this easier, I'll just run through what I do, which is just engagement first, and then conversion. I'm not sure where through the whole scheme of things you are thinking about it. You want to be doing engagement first to just sort of figure out who is interested in your product, who's going to click through your copy and into your website. Sorry, Instagram, you're a bit wonky there. And then you can start running conversion FB ads. But really, I mean, I imagine that you're doing a product, because that's probably what you want to do, is conversion. Hey guys on Instagram who just joined, Brooke, Lat, Gualdo, Augusto, welcome to the channel. I'm just answering questions on YouTube, but feel free to drop any questions on Instagram. Yunsun and, would you still try a product if there is only 2 competitors currently running the product? Yeah, definitely. 2, I mean, there's probably more than 2, just to be clear, because if you did enough research, you would find there's probably a bit more than 2. The internet is massive. It would just take you a bit more time to find them all over the world. But sorry, there's so many comments here. I'm losing your question. Yeah, I think 2 competitors shows that there's people who are keen to sell it. It doesn't really prove that there's an audience, but it does show that people believe in the product. So have a look at what your competitors are doing there and be sure to give a novel creative approach a go. Probably a decent amount of potential there. Interested in what your product is, and the best of luck when you're selling it. Wow, so many people joining Instagram. Hey guys, feel free to drop a question in, or head over to YouTube if you want the high quality audio. Do you ever narrow audience, like only engaged shoppers? Nah, I don't do that. I don't really have a reason for it. I kind of want to be specific with people. I definitely always keep it to what people are interested in. If I was going to sell a coffee cup, I'd use Nescafe or something even more niche, like Shroom Tech coffee. You know, keeping it really specific. Before you even go into this, layer of Facebook ads, you want to actually just understand what your brand's voice is, and that will help you understand what your target audience is, who your target audience is, and then you can start inputting things. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. Are running Twitter, Google, and etc. ads cheaper than Facebook ads? Well, actually, I don't know. I answer that one. Are running Twitter, Google, and etc. ads cheaper than Facebook ads? It kind of depends on the different campaigns within the programs. I'm not sure about the differences. If anybody does know, please enlighten us. How often will Debutify be updated? That is a question for the development team. I do not know the answer to that. I would probably say we have a sprint every 4 weeks. And the big updates are infrequent. Like the 3.0 update was so massive that isn't going to be coming around every now and again. But we have an enormous development team, and we spend 7,000 USD every single day developing the theme. So yeah, it's kind of being tinkered with under the bonnet quite heavily. Yunsun An, you're getting a lot of airtime here. If I send you a link to my website in the future, would you be able to take a look at my website and possibly give me some feedback? Of course, feel free to send it to the Debutify Instagram. That will be completely fine. You can spend 10 minutes having a look at your website. Kevin H. Not Job Income says, hey. Hey, man. Oh, hey, Divine. Just see you coming in there on the Instagram. Thanks for your videos, bro. Vraj Andrapara, I am unable to find interest for my toys niche. One Product Toys website. Any tool to spy competitors' interest finder? I would use Dropship Spy. Yeah, really useful. You can see lots of different Facebook interests on there. It's about $20 a month, but if you're struggling, then that would be a good injection of data to your whole business model. Vraj Andrapanda also says, thank you for your answer. Love from India to New Zealand. Much love from New Zealand right back at you to India, Vraj. Thanks for coming into the live today. Really helpful. Kevin H. Not a Job Income says, I have the theme, but it seems like a lot slow with GF metrics, taking up to 5 to 7 seconds for a full load. Okay. I don't know what you mean by GF metrics, so please let me know what you mean there. SYC says, thank you, good to know. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Kevin Not a Job Income says, are you accepting crypto on your store? If so, would it be on the balance sheet? Yeah, I am accepting crypto on the store. Nobody's been paying in crypto. I think crypto's a really potential up-and-coming technology, much like 5G, much like the Internet of Things. The blockchain ledger will be an exceptional technology. Not for everything. I think there's a lot of hype around blockchain. But in terms of e-commerce, it's pretty good. Like, we already have quite a lot of trust in payments, but I think the benefit of crypto is the speed. I mean, it depends which crypto we're talking about. Divine says, what crypto are you holding? Well, yeah, full transparency. Can I screen share? No, I don't think so. Well, I can get it out myself and read it out. This might be interesting to some people. Sorry if it isn't interesting. So is there a percentage? Yeah. So I hold VET 60%. That's VThane, which is a supply chain management cryptocurrency. There's just essentially making supply chain more and more transparent. So I really believe in that project. It's at 27 cents right now. And yeah, that's 60% of the portfolio. Bitcoin, 15%. Ethereum, 7%. Stellar, 2%. EOS, 2%. Atom, 2%. Tezos, 2%. Link, Chainlink, that's an Oracle cryptocurrency, which validates a lot of transactions. And then BAT, 1.4%. And then a couple of others, 1.8%. Cool, didn't expect to do that, but I guess you guys are interested in it. Hope that answers your question, Divine. Mainly I'm holding VET. That is my favorite cryptocurrency because I think it has the most use case, because supply chain management right now is riddled with technology that isn't quite as strong and transparent as it could be. I think that the blockchain technology isn't going to be useful for every industry, but supply chain, absolutely it is. Would you give your opinion about CRO and when it's suitable for store owners to get into it? Cheers. E-commerce uplift. You are ahead of the curve there, man. I don't know what CRO is at all. So please let me know and we can have a conversation about it. Sorry for neglecting you guys on YouTube. Lots of questions. No, I'm not talking about Dropify. I'm talking about Dropship Spy Frage. Yeah. It's got a really clean landing page. I'll just get it up to make sure that I'm talking about the right thing. I think from memory it's $20 a month. Yeah, these are the guys. Yeah, the Facebook audience builder right there in the middle, second from the top. Excuse me, and the product spy is really worth it. I think that's really quite a good tool. So many tools out there, but I would actually put my hand on my heart and say that Dropship Spy is really good. Yeah. He means GT Metrics Pingdom. Oh, okay, so I take that. I'm not really quite savvy. Do you mean ping as in when you're playing like an online game and it's slow? In that case, I'm not really the guy to ask. Maybe reinstall the theme, and maybe like check your videos. You should run it through. There's like I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's websites that you can run your store through to see how fast it is, and it will give you a lowdown as to what you need to change. So I'd probably just do that. Like it's not a speed test; it's like a store speed test, and it will actually tell you like, hey, these photos are too big, so change the size. Things like that will actually just help you quite a lot, probably. David Giro says, why would I get Debutify? Share with me the insights and benefits of it. Well, I guess because I work there, I can do that. Yeah, Debutify is a smart theme. It's a theme with 43 CBAs. So we have 43 individual apps inside of the theme that integrate with the theme, which makes it very fast, very intuitive, and user-friendly, not only for the customer that land on your store, but also for the back end. It means that you don't have to hire people, developers, in order to set things up. It can run all by itself. Man, it would take me so long to go through all of the CBAs, but we're actually creating webinars right now in order to showcase all of those benefits. So if you stay tuned, David, you will see a lot of those. Hope that answers your question. Excuse me. Frage, for a little bit of store review and some feedback, can I DM with a link of store? Yeah, of course you can. I'll probably do that after the live video because not everybody will be able to see the store. But I'll do that. And what is your favorite app to find winning products, says Yunsu An? Thief. Yeah, I love Thief. I'm a thief. I'm a pirate. Yeah, go thieve.co. It's great. I'll put that in the chat. I don't have an affiliate link or anything, but these guys are great. Personally, if I was going to give you the benefits of the website, I really like the elegant design. It just helps me sort of like get into that frame of discovery. I really don't like going on AliExpress and just being like absolutely stimulated by so many different products, so many different categories. It just like is designed to like make you crawl through it. So I'd use Thief. Really elegant. It's the same thing as AliExpress. It's just got a nice skin on the top, really. At the end of the day, everybody's got the same access. I don't use any paid platforms. In terms of more tools, I actually just talk to people. I think that talking to your friends, the people that you know the most, ask them what it is in their lives that helps them the most. What are the items that they use every day that are really useful to them? Because that's going to give you a bit of a leg up in terms of insight compared to people who are using these AliExpresses, these dropper spies, these e-snipers, things like that. Yunsu An, so if the potential reach is well over 10 mil, would you find a different interest since it's too broad, or still try it? You could just try one country at a time as well. That might lower the demographic. That's quite a lot of people. But if it's still too high, maybe just throw in a couple of interests. There's nothing wrong with doing a couple of interests as well. Can you give me the URL of that city website where all your videos will come? Yeah, I'll just put that in the YouTube channel. So that's Fern City. That's just a demo store that I've made, where I hope that you guys can learn just how I do my product copy, my videos, my images, and the landing page and the whole funnel. So jump on there and rip it to shreds. Don't steal anything. Well, you can. It's just a demo store, really. Thank you. Nice, Fraj. You're on both. Thanks for being such a great participant. What do I think of NFTs? I don't actually know too much about NFTs. I think it's a similar thing to what I just said about blockchain. For some things it'll be great. For other things it might not work. I think I can show you one. This is one of my pieces of photography. This would be a great NFT because it's right now. It's like a physical product that I sell on Darkroom. You know, it's made out of recycled aluminium. It's that kind of bougie. But for an NFT, it would be a lot more accessible. You know, I wouldn't have to like package that up and ship it across the world. You could just sell it as a digital, well, as just a bunch of bits, I guess. Can you talk about the 3.0 update really quickly? What are the main additions? SYC, yeah. Off the top of my head, we've got quite a few different add-ons that are novel, like the page transition, the Instagram feed, the Facebook Messenger integration. There's actually way more than just those three, but just off the top of my head. And from my experience with 2.0, setting up those add-ons and navigating the theme settings in general are a lot more intuitive. They are like just easier to set up, really. And that's probably the main addition, is it's just easier for us as merchants to use, and it is faster. Yunsu, and do you use Canva? No, I don't. I actually use Photoshop because I have another job that requires me to use Premiere Pro, so I pay the subscription to Creative Cloud. Victor Coronel says, more FB ads content, please. Okay, sure, I'll do that. Ali Mardi 1010, what product niche do you suggest for impulse buying? I guess all the niches can be considered under that umbrella. Can I resell your wraps in my country? Yeah, of course you can. You probably just have to find a local supplier, or you can get in touch with me. I could be your supplier. I'm not sure if that would be good for shipping times, but maybe you could buy 100 off me. But yeah, you could probably definitely find a supplier in your country. And I'm pretty sure, Viraj, you're in India. But yeah, feel free to message me on my private Instagram, which is Connor Lewis. But yeah, you can definitely just resell your wraps. And I'd look around. It's always better to have a local supplier anyway. You don't want somebody like me from all the way from bloody New Zealand. How do I get rid of the wish list on 3.0? I can't seem to find it. Yeah, I'd go into the theme settings and then go into the Debutify add-ons tab, locate 3.0 and uncheck it. Locate wish list. You also need to disable the page. There will be a page in Shopify navigation pages, wish list. Just delete that if you don't want to use it. How long does it take you to come up with the site name? Says Yonsu An. Yeah, that's a really good question. I actually wrote it down in this book, just a little black book, on a train. I'm just flicking through. It doesn't really matter. I'm trying to find it. But yeah, I probably wrote about 30 to 50 different names on a couple of pages, and I just went through and I was like, that's kind of saying it. This name isn't saying it. Delete that. This is kind of it. Merged a couple together. And then Bob's Your Uncle, I had Fern City. My other company's called Stray Path. Somewhat nice ring. I'm not sure if that's objectively a nice name. But yeah, I think to find a good name, or at least one that you like, get your pen and paper out. Just start writing things down. This is a great tool, guys. You don't need all those swanky tools on the internet. This is really great. Fragments of Jeff says, Connor, which product research tool saves you the most time? Yeah, so you might have just joined, Jeff. We just talked about that. But yeah, really quickly, if I'm using the internet, thieve.co, really great. And I actually just ask people as well. The product research tool that I use the most is this, because I go and ask friends and family. That's how I found this really cool product, was just by asking people in their daily lives. And not even asking, sometimes I just look and I'm like, they use that every day. That's pretty cool. I should sell that, you know? Just having a look around, just walking through the world. Take a couple hours a week to just walk through your world. You have really good data compared to other people because you're in a unique place. Everybody's in a unique place. So soak up the small little nuggets in that unique place. Cool. Yunsu Ann says, how important do you think the site name is? I'd say it is quite important. There's two schools of thought there. You can have an esoteric kind of like niche sort of name, which is kind of like cryptic, and might only mean something to you. You know, I did that, my first company, the Rains Avenue. It was called the Rains Avenue. And the reason it was called the Rains Avenue Limited Liability Company was because me and the two founders used to walk to school on Rains Ave, on the Rains Avenue. And we were like, you know, we should just call the film company Rains Ave because it's got a nice ring to it. And that's kind of nice. It's kind of something that's personal to you. You can really get behind it. But it's not good for SEO. And it's not good for conveying to the customer straight off the bat what the hell your store is for, you know? When you're building companies, and by no means am I an expert on this, I have 3 companies, but they're not like very profitable. I'm not like, you know, take everything here. I'm like, I have a disclaimer, I guess, because I'm not like a 6-figure e-com guru. I'm just an employee at Debutify at the end of the day. I'm not a guru. But yeah, my 3 companies, Rains Ave, Fern City, Stray Path, they all are doing a slightly different thing. The first 2, Stray Path and Rains Ave, are kind of like esoteric. They're kind of cryptic. Yes, Fraj, that is correct. My username on Insta is Connor Lewis. Don't spam me though. But yeah, please feel free to send me your site and I will give you a good review. And then the third company there, Fern City, it's a combination of plants, and I've got too many bloody plants. You know, I love plants, and I love the environment, I love nature. So Fern is, you know, plants, nature, and then city is like urban demographics. It's like, let's bring the nature into the city. And that's kind of what all the products on my store are doing. There's like a pumice stone, there's this bees wrap, there's like dish tools that are all eco-friendly. So the name really actually represents what's going on in the store. It doesn't have to be too explicit, but when you're being, if you've got the time to make up a store name, you might as well put just a little bit of thought into it. I probably only spent 60 minutes, maybe 90 minutes figuring out the store name. And that's not all in one sitting. That's like, oh, it's going to be called this, and then you change it, and, you know, etc. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, Yunsun, and thank you for being on the call with me. This has been good fun. Sorry about the cold. Hey, if I'm running Facebook campaign for 1 week that targets to the USA, and now I want to add more target companies, what is the best way to do that without doing damage to the campaign? Yeah, I duplicate the ad. Duplicate the ad. Yeah, don't duplicate the ad set. Well, it depends. You could duplicate the ad set and just change it to Canada, Australia, and you'd probably be fine, you know. There's nothing wrong with changing the target countries. You could probably even pause the USA and still run it to different things. To different countries, that is, without damaging the campaign. You're going to damage the campaign by doing, like, aggressive advertising. You know, if you were to suddenly inject, 50 times your budget than you've normally been doing into the campaign, then that might freak it out a bit. But I would say just changing the target countries there is probably going to be fine. Yunsun Ann, how many orders average per day consistently do you need in order to proceed with buying in bulk and getting a personal supplier? Good question. Depends on the supplier, because you can go 2 different routes. The route that I've taken recently is just to order in like a bunch of products. So I only bought 50 initially, and then you sell them. You don't really need to prove to anybody, apart from yourself, that that's going to be profitable. That's like one route where you buy a bunch, you sell it, and then you go back to the supplier and you go, I'll have twice as many this time, let's do it again. The other way of doing it is like keeping it linear with the dropshipping model, where you're like sending it as you're ordering it from the supplier. And that is a bit more difficult because you need to actually prove to the supplier, I have consistent enough orders here, and you need to give me a discount because I want to get a bulk order. You could always just buy a bulk order off that same supplier and get a discount. But then you're going to have somewhere to store the products, and you're going to have somebody to fulfill it. Like me, I'm fulfilling it myself, but you might not want to do that. You might not have the time. But I kind of like to be close to the action. I want to make sure that everything is going well. And I kind of like listening to a podcast and packing up products. It's kind of fun. Hope that answers your question. Vraj says, I sent a review DM on your Insta. Please check it after the live. It's 4 a.m. in India, so bye. Thank you for today's live session. And Vraj, thank you for being here. Thanks for asking so many questions. I hope you have a good sleep. Go the hell to bed. You shouldn't be awake at 4 a.m. But also, you can do what you like. And yeah, you're very much welcome. Thanks for coming. Hopefully see you next time. Tyron Aguirre Mensah says, I'm from the UK. When is it best to register as a business because Facebook asks for business verification? Yeah, so I'm actually English myself, Tyron, but I don't really know the legalities back home. I was a freelancer in the UK for 2 years just last year, but I never started a business. So I'm not the expert here, but I would say just do it straight away. You know, there's not much to be lost. In New Zealand, I know it costs $100 to start a company, so I'd probably just do that. I don't know how much it costs in the UK. Like if it's $1,000, maybe that's a bit of a different story. But if it's £100, £50, just register as a business. If you're serious about running Facebook ads, then you're going to want it to work. You're going to want the Facebook machine to do what you tell it. And if you come in hot and you're like, yeah, I'm not a company, I'm just a dude behind a laptop, then it's just probably going to ban you, and it's kind of not worth that risk. You're just going to waste, like, when I come across these problems, what I try and do is think about it in labor cost. So if you're like, okay, it's going to cost me £100 to set up a company, don't really want to do that, I could probably get away with it. Let's just put the labor cost into the mistakes. So if you get banned on Facebook, you're going to have to remake a Facebook account. You're going to have to start to pretend that it's a real Facebook account by adding a bunch of people, commenting on a bunch of people's posts, joining groups. You're going to have to get a new credit card because the credit card from your first Facebook account has been red flagged. And then you're going to have to rewrite all of your copy. You might have saved it somewhere else, so that's maybe not as potent, but there's a couple of mistakes. There's a couple of just like time input where you have to come up against Facebook now and redo everything. So is it worth that £100 to redo everything? Or do you just want to go in, ready, prepared, professional? Facebook is the biggest sales channel in the world behind Google. So they don't really give a shit if you're like, I'm not registered. They're like, cool, we'll just take your money and ban you. It'd probably just be way better if you were like, I am a company. Hope that answers your question, Tyron. Always be professional. It's not in Facebook eyes, you're such a small piece of the pie. CR7.25 says, can you talk about Pinterest ads testing strategy? I've got no idea. Sorry. I would probably try and input the similar marketing psychology from Facebook. If you know a bit of Facebook into Pinterest, similar sort of thing, you're just trying to persuade people at the end of the day to make a decision. But as to the intricacies of how the platform works, I'm not really sure. Sorry. I didn't even know Pinterest was still going. Nah, I didn't know. But I mean, it's so old. Yunsun An says, so what happens if you get a bulk of orders but not everything sells? Is there a fee for just using their space? Yeah, there is. It depends who you're using. But that's kind of why I use my own house, because you can just have it in a box in a corner somewhere to begin with. But yeah, in terms of 3PLs, you can use like a real popular one, a new one is Debutify. And they actually have a warehouse in Shenzhen that you can store things in. I think it's actually free up to a limit of maybe 100 kilos. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm not sure. And of course, there's many different warehouses in Shenzhen. There's many warehouses in India, in New Zealand, that you just need to get in touch with directly and say, is it right if I have a couple of square meters for my product? And just see how much that fee is. I really can't answer that question, but hopefully, hopefully good luck with that. Hopefully good luck, I guess. Do you ever use Instagram influencers? Yes, I do. I'm using 3 Instagram influencers right now because I was kind of sick of Facebook, and I kind of thought, hey, this whole program shouldn't be just me talking to stupid Facebook robot. I really like Instagram influencers because you get on the phone with people and you get to talk to them on Instagram. I was sending lots of voice messages to a lady in New Zealand yesterday, and she's going to start promoting my product. I'm just going to send her one. She's going to take her own photos. She's going to put stories up. I think it's a really organic and cheeky way of advertising because people really trust those Instagram influencers. They really love them. So if you're there and you're saying, well, I guess you're not really going to be there, but if you can just input your product into that pipeline, then it's going to have a lot more credibility than just a straight ad. Because even though it is, at the end of the day, an ad, it's within the frame of somebody following a real person. So yeah, I actually would just love to talk about Instagram influencers this whole live because I think they're so useful, but I'll keep answering these questions. I will say though, somebody else asked on Instagram earlier, how are you making a store review? I am, and I'm using Instagram influencers in the marketing section in that store review. I'm going to go through Fern City and I'm going to showcase exactly how the copy, the landing page, etc. is being used, and the marketing. I'm going to show you Instagram influencers. So hope you tune in for that. I'm actually just going to turn off the Instagram live now because my phone's... I'm not giving enough attention. Thanks, CR72, for your question. And now I'll just give you guys full attention on YouTube. Tyron Agaya Mensah says, did you have mentors when you first started? Yes, I did, and I still do. Ricky is my mentor. He's really good, straight to the point, and gives me a lot of help. But I also have mentors outside of that. You know, I run things by my friends. I run things by my lovely girlfriend, Jill. I run things by acquaintances. I'm like, hey, do you have just a second to have a look at this advert? For example, my new flatmate just moved in. I said, what do you think of this ad? You know, blank slate, somebody new. They don't have an ulterior motive. They're a third party. Just show them the things you've made and be like, what do you reckon? Would you buy this? Show that to my girlfriend's mum, my Facebook, my Fern City page. Probably just try and get as much feedback as you can if you don't have a straight mentor. Hope that answers your question, Tyrone. And good evening in the UK. Badr Abul Karim says, what is the best strategy for retargeting and lookalike audiences after iOS 14? Can't really answer that one, Beta. It's going to be an interesting space. I think just keep on keeping on. Follow the rules of Facebook, and we will see what happens there. I don't think what lots of people are saying on YouTube that it's going to be, you know, Facebook just got killed by Apple, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to be, you know, keep being used as a sales channel. And even if it isn't, even if it gets shut down and broken up and destroyed, excuse me, we're going to use something else, you know. So all of these things that you've learned will still be applicable in whatever crops up in the interim, whatever crops up afterwards. Sorry. Just turn this off. Wicked. Well, it's been an hour. I think I'll stick around for a couple more minutes, but thank you guys so much for staying. This has been really useful. I have really enjoyed this, but I have to film a video, so I gotta get off the live now. It's been about an hour, but if you've got any more last minute questions, I'll take them now. So just let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Honestly, it made my morning feel very invigorated. It's so fun to talk with you guys. I hope that some value was passed on. I hope that that was useful to you. Oh, you already see the performance is down. Yeah, well, yeah, it's an interesting space. It's going to be, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I hope that something happens. I'd probably start diversifying now, you know, get things on the exchanges, get things on the different sales channels. Yunsun An says, I love you. Well, I love you too, Yunsun An. I think we all love each other, really. I think love is a very powerful thing, and since I've started meditating, I've realized that I actually just do love everybody I meet. Might sound woo-woo, hippie, new wave, but at the end of the day, you don't want enemies, you want friends. So I love you too, Yunsen An. And thanks for so many questions that made this live very enjoyable. I guess I gotta go now, eh? Nah, I'm 30 seconds behind you guys, so it's funny. I always find this bit difficult because I can't hang up. But I'll give you guys 25 seconds, then I'll log off. There you go. 30 seconds goes by, new questions. Oh, good timing. My brother's home. Can you make new videos for testing strategy? Do you mean Facebook testing or sales channel? Which sales channel do you mean? And yeah, of course I can make a video. I I can definitely make a new video. I'm making new videos all the time. So would it be okay to try only just doing Instagram influencers? Yes, Yunsu, definitely give it a go. It's the hardest part for me is finding those influencers that actually fit into your niche. I haven't yet found a tool that makes that entirely transparent and accessible. I'd probably use something like Falnax or Social Blade, but I still have a problem finding the real people within the niche. But I'm sure that you can figure it out. It's tricky, but it's personable. At the end of the day, you will have somebody that you can come back to, touch base with, and market with again. And it's actually just quite a lot of fun. I'd recommend it. And Beta says, can I make a new video for Facebook testing strategy? Yes. So if you're curious, the rotation is product research, Facebook, Shopify case study, winning product. And then I have some new advanced content coming out. And that will be useful to you. So yeah, I will, of course, do more videos for Facebook testing. I'm sure it will be fine. Anyway, thanks for your questions, Beta. Thank you for your questions, Yunsu. And have a lovely day. We'll see you guys later. Oh yeah, good thing I left it on. Video for backup pixel. Yeah, well, there's the new things to avoid with Facebook ads. I don't really touch on backup pixel, but to answer the question quickly, it would be just having somebody else having access to your account. So when you set up that business manager, just make sure that there's somebody else who can jump in and migrate settings, save all of the copy in case it gets jacked and deleted and banned. Otherwise, thanks again. Take it easy.